Hello, my name is Duncan and welcome to Back to Books, Back Away from the Donkey. I've been quiet for a wee while, just because if you've seen my previous videos, my dog was suddenly ill and had emergency surgery, so she's been recovering, and obviously I'm a full-time care for my wife, so that takes time. So Mike, my gorgeous Labrador, took a bit longer to recover, and it was taking me a bit longer, and taking a bit more of my time than I expected. Said she had pyometra, which is an infection in the womb, so they took all that out. She said she's nearly 12 years old, but they've also found a tumour in her cervix, which is all a bit icky, but at the moment that's sort of stable, but that could grow. It could affect her ongoing, but we just going to keep going and have a nice year. And at the moment she's recovering and she's looking really well down there, aren't you, girlie? But yeah, that's just a little update on Mike and my gorgeous Labrador for you. But yeah, as I said, I'm not. It's really weird because because all the stuff I've been doing, you sort of get out of the habit of making videos, and I enjoy it, and but once you've not made one for a while, you sort of lose the momentum, which is quite weird. You know, I've said I've got a few on in the background. I'm going to make one after this. I'm doing one about an Isaac Asimov short story that hopefully, I said I'm going to record it directly after here, and then I will probably, there's a couple of bits I want to drop into it, so editing might take a little longer, so hopefully about Wednesday. And I'm going to do one for May the 4th for Star Wars Day as well, and specifically, and then hopefully just get back doing what I like. I said I was going to my wife saying, oh, I don't know whether I can be bothered to do it, and it was like, yes, but you enjoy doing it, so do it. So yeah, that's where I've been and what I've been doing. So we've got to pick a mix for, which I normally do at the weekends, but this is just a random one. Some books have been picked up the past few weeks, and I need to stop picking books up. I've got 2 more coming in the post, I think. And after that, I might have a few months not buying anything, bar comics and things that I normally get regularly, just because I've got enough to read. Why do I need to buy more? But anyway, I've not really read huge amounts the past couple of weeks just because of all the stuff's going on. I've not got the books here that I have been reading. I'm on to the second Star Surgeon book that I was reading, the one by Alan Norse. Because I read the first one, so I said I'm going to have a video doing that when I finished that one, because I'm going to do the 2 Star Surgeons comparison. What I have just started reading, because I'm looking for some easier reading, is Rogue Trooper, Tales of New Earth. This is from 2000 AD, British comic, if you don't know. And this isn't a bad compendium of all the stuff. The only problem is the pages are actually smaller than they were originally published. The size of them, I think, was almost an A4 size. But I love Rogue Trooper. I remember reading it when it came out, and this was quite a nice collection of the first lot. And it's about a genetically modified soldier, but in him, when they die, they've got a chip in them, and this chip can be put into equipment, so it retains all their memories and their experience and who they are. And this one trooper, his friends die, and he's got the chips, one in his helmet, one in his gun, and one in the backpack, and they control these things. And it's like him going across the wasteland of this war-torn thing. Some of the stories I know were written by Alan Moore. I think it's got it listed here. The writers, Jerry Finley Day and Alan Moore. Dave Gibbons did a lot of the artwork in it as well, which is really good. Some really nice stuff in here. Like I said, I've just started it. I've not read it for years, so I may do a little thing about this when I finish it. But I just wanted something a bit easier to read, just to all the stresses that have been going on around me. So I thought, let's go to some comic stuff. So I'm just trying to find a good picture here to show you. And I said the fact that it's a smaller format is a little bit irritating, but because it makes some of the text there like a lot smaller than it would have been, because it said it would have been on a page, almost an A4 size page. But yeah, we've got that. And This picture I always remember. I've seen that one there. This volume 1, I think there's 3 or 4 volumes of this, I don't know. But I've got the first volume. And I'll probably eventually get the other ones. So yeah, so that's that one. I will put this down over there. I'm actually going to pick up a comic that I just got for the post. Excuse me, my big head comes towards the camera. So let's start on the pickups with something that came through the mail today. Which I think is probably a Star Wars comic. And you know, so next in the Blade Runner 2039 ones I've been doing. I've not read them all yet. I'm waiting for them all to finish. But they did 2019, 2029. This is the final section, and it's been really, really good. So let me pop that back there. So let me get on to the books I shouldn't be buying. I got some locally in our local charity shops. So we haven't got huge amounts here. It's the joys of living on an island. But what we have got, and there's a few things I've sort of got off of books and eBay and places. But I said I need to stop buying books. I've got a lot of books. And I need to just read stuff and make videos of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to start with, this was some stuff I picked up locally in a local shop. They had a copy of the Terry Brooks' Elfstones of Shannara, which I think is the 4th in the Shannara books. But I have got this is almost a replacement of, we had the Great Purge in the 90s when a lot of my books went missing just due to me moving around and stuff, and I had to get rid of loads. And I like the Shannara books. They start off and they're a homage to Tolkien, but they do develop later on, and it's just nice easy reading. But these have got the Hildebrand covers on, because I've got a copy that I picked up a couple of years back of Elfstones, which is a newer copy, but that has got the wonderful Hildebrand artwork on it. That one I picked up locally, and then I managed to pick up George Martin's Storm of Swords .2, because Storm of Swords is in 2 bits. The annoying thing is my other version is actually a trade paperback, as much as I hate trade paperbacks. But I've just been trying to pick them up slowly. I've only ever read book 1 of the Game of Thrones books, just because I've only got around to that, so I quite enjoyed it. A bit too much sex in it for me, but hey, but they're quite enjoyable, and I'm just slowly picking them all up, and I will eventually get around to reading them, but I don't know when. And anything else I picked up locally? Just checking. Oh yes, that one. And that one. Oh, and that. Okay, a random one I picked up locally. This, I'm a big Hill Street Blues fan, and they had I know this isn't books, but they had the DVDs of season 2, and they had £1 on it, but they only charged me 20p. And I love Hill Street Blues, and I've not got any of them on DVD because I've looked at them. Ooh, sorry, jog the camera. I've looked at them before, and the cost of them new is quite a bit. And so I'm really, really happy to get season 2, but it's great. But yeah, away from the TV. I think I mentioned a while ago, I seem to be collecting a lot of weird Puffin paperbacks. Puffin, if nobody knows, is Penguin in America. Puffin used to still do publish more of the children's books, but I found locally this beautiful version of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which is the cover I always remember as a kid. I've got a version of all of C.S. Lewis's Lion, Witch and Wardrobe stories, Narnia books, and they've done them in the sort of chronological order rather than the published order. I don't know, obviously published order, but I love the artwork, and it's got all the artwork inside it. So this cost me 20p, and there's a spine on it. There's no barcode on it, so it is pre-1980, I think, or 1979 when the barcode came in. This one was published in, this is from 1973, so look at the condition. And for a children's book, I mean, it seemed like the price it cost at the time, which was 20p, because we were under the net book agreement at the time, and we've got all those little bits of artwork in there. Like that. So the problem is now I've got this version, I need to get all the other books in the Puffin versions because I'm obsessive like that. But I'm not allowed to buy anything. I'm not allowed to buy ink. The other one I got, this is a local one. This is from a local author who died back in the 90s, I think. He's a famous Scottish author, George Mackay Brown, Greenvow, which is the first book, and I've never actually read anything by him. And Greenvow is about a oil company that comes to a small island, which is they use a fictional Orkney Island rather than one of the real ones. And it's meant to be loosely what's based. What's the film? Oh, I can't remember. It's a film about an oil company coming to a Scottish village, and it's meant to be loosely based on this, very loosely. But yeah, George Mackay Brown, Greenvow, and that was locally. Pick that one up. I should read my local authors, shouldn't I? Okay, and now we come to the ones that I brought offline. The first one, I've been after this for a long time, and it's for the cover. This is the Tin Angel by Ron Goulart, and we've got a spaniel with a boater dancing in front of a skull. What more do you want? But Ron Goulart's, this is about a cybernetic dog who's a TV star in 1999, and then he goes on Secret Assignments. So I'm looking forward to reading this. This is a door copy of the book, and it's in pretty good condition because there's no spine in there. But if you notice, so I've been after this for a while, and it's got some artwork in it. But if you notice the blue mottling on the pages, the early pages, I'll show you there a bit closer, which is something to do with the acidity in the paper. But this has got some art into it, which I love. What I personally find, this is a door book that US copies of books from specifically the 60s and the 70s, they seem to be worse quality than the UK editions. I find that the glue dries out a lot more and the paper stock is a lot worse. And that's just my personal experience. You might find things differently, but that's my personal one, which is why I normally sort of go for, I only normally end up buying the US editions for any specific reason. But I don't think there was a UK edition of this. But I'm looking forward to reading this. Ron Goulart's an interesting guy. I think he wrote the novelisation of the film Capricorn 1, and he's done lots of short stories. He's done lots of writing for people. William Shatner's Tech War books, Ron Goulart wrote them. I actually quite like them, but I think they're fun. But yeah, is that a what they call a? Sorry, my brain's going a bit funny because I'm not used to doing videos for a while. But yes, so he's quite an interesting writer, and I've not read any of his full novels. I know this is a very short one. It is only 140 pages, so I should polish that off quite quickly. I've still got stuff to finish of. I'm backlogged for reading because I said not read much, but I'm hoping to get myself in a little bit more of a system just to read and enjoy my reading. And my next one is, this is a replacement for one of the books that went missing in the 90s. And this is Piers Anthony Blue Adept, which is the second book of the Split Infinity trilogy, which is part of the Apprentice Adept stuff. And I've just been trying to replace this. This beautiful Tim White cover, and this was in great condition. I said there's another book that I lost in my purge of the 90s, and I just wanted to replace it because I want to reread these. I got the first book over there, which I picked up a while ago, and yeah, so the next one I picked was Spider Robinson Telepath, which was his first novel. A great cover. Picked this up because I read the short story God is an Iron recently, and I wanted to read one of his novels, which is why I picked this up. I will put a link to the video at the end, actually, of God is an Iron, me rambling on about that, if anybody's interested. And this just sounds quite interesting. But I just wanted to read one of his novels, and I thought I'd start at the beginning. And another one I picked up offline was Wilson Tucker, Resurrection Days. This is another US edition. I'm pretty... And I did Wilson Tucker's the Time Masters recently, which I really quite enjoyed. So this one's only quite interesting. I'll read you the synopsis on the back. It said, journeyman carpenter Owen Hall, killed in 1943 during an unfortunate accident of a railroad crossing, finds himself resurrected thousands of years later in a world dominated by women. The men are Ottomans without free will or conscience. In 24 hours, Owen wreaks havoc in disciplined female civilization, turning topsy-turvy and refusing to obey orders. But as madcap adventures threaten to destroy their ordered world, the women realise Owen's independence must be corrected. Suddenly, Owen must use all his cunning and guile against a horde of determined female warriors. This sounds quite trashy, I must admit. But his other book was, The Time Masters I read, was quite good, and he's renowned as a good author. So this is either going to go in gross misogyny, or it's going to be entertaining, or I don't know. I really don't know. I just wanted to read another one of his books, and this is what I found when I was searching. And also on the same search, I found a book called Clone by Richard Cowper, who I've never read anything about. I know very little about the author, and very little about this. So that's just a random book. Okay, and the final book that I picked up was R.A. McAvoy's Damiano, which is another replacement for a 90s lost book. But another one I wanted to reread. And this is a fantasy series, but it's set in like a pseudo-Italian Renaissance about magic. And I remember it being really entertaining. And I saw that and thought, that'd be a good one to redo. So yes, so that is really about it. I said I've just been picked up those few books. I said it's probably going to be my last for a while, by the couple I've got coming in the post. And then I need to ease back a bit. And I said I've got one coming. I'm going to do a video on the Isaac Asimov story. It's the Last Shuttle story, if anybody just in looking for it, but it's actually quite an obscure one of his stories. And I just felt like, because I'd done the piece on The Goddess and I wanted to do a piece on another short story, and I think I might do a few of those coming up. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I said I'll probably have a few more videos out now coming this week. Now all the stress has eased up. And things. Oh yes, I've also got another video coming on. I've got a book over there called Space Wars, Fact and Fiction. Did you know that we are being in Space Wars? And I wanted to do a little video on that, so I'm probably going to aim for that. I don't know when. I'm not going to make any concrete promises, just that stuff will be coming. And I've got to catch up, because I've not really been catching up on everybody else's videos. So I've got probably about 2 weeks worth of videos of people's to have a quick flick through. So if you start getting comments on older videos of yours, if you're a booktuber, that's why. But thank you very much, and everybody have a lovely day.